Every season of Bridgerton comes with attractive main characters. Is all of this planned? Why don't the characters look as good before they step up in the show? All of these have some crazy answers that will show you the secret behind Bridgerton stars' glow up, which goes beyond makeup. Right from season 1 of Bridgerton, it was clear that no other character could ever outshine the lead cast. And what makes this even more exciting is that they had future lead characters in season 1 who weren't as noticeable because it wasn't their season yet. However, we need to talk about how it all started in Bridgerton season 1. Daphne and Simon from season 1 were very adorable and attractive to watch on screen, and fans couldn't even help but gush on Simon's handsome face. Now, the actor who played the role, Regé-Jean Page, has been in other films before Bridgerton, but his story changed as soon as he got the role. Aside from his natural good looks, there's a thing the production adds to make the main characters have a glowy and noticeable presence. At the beginning of the show, viewers saw many pretty young ladies stepping out into society in search of a suitor, but Daphne stood out the most, even to the queen. While this was expected, considering they were the stars of the season, more work went down behind the scenes to make this fact evident to the viewers. However, the secret that the series creator, Shonda Rhimes, uses goes beyond the makeup and costume, as you will soon find out. The glow-up itself takes many processes involving an upgrade to the hair, the makeup, and even the costumes. The hair and makeup artist of the show, Linda Pierce, made some revelations on the things that were done to make Daphne stand out as the diamond of the season. Linda mentioned that the first step into making the season 1 lead star look like one was to prepare her skin. However, that part was easy to do because Phoebe had already taken good care of her skin before then. Linda said, "I sent her home with brightening masks to use to keep her skin bright and fresh." Also, the cast goes through a lot of stressful activities during filming, which could affect their glow up. But the makeup artist was ready for that too, as she said that Phoebe always had a daily eye mask on while coming on set. According to Linda, the trick to this is to make sure that Phoebe looks relaxed in her scenes, like she had more than 10 hours of night rest. Then, as soon as the makeup gets applied, there will be no puffiness in the eyes, and all the beauty products blend in perfectly. If viewers can recall, the characters on Bridgerton all seem to have a natural look, which is usually the intention during the makeover. They are made to look good without trying too hard. However, this was achieved with many layers of beauty products. One of the things that made Daphne stand out is her innocent but attractive face. Also, her flushed cheeks made her noticeable, and to achieve this, Linda said they used lip and cheek cream. She explained further, saying, "It's a very natural flush of color and perfect for Phoebe's skin tone. The texture is so silky. It can be built up for a heavier look or buffed for a soft, natural look, depending on the finish you're after." Daphne was also wearing a carefully placed eyeshadow, so it was a complete makeover that was professionally done to make Daphne the most pretty girl when she first came out. At the end of every day's shoot, the makeup artist would strip off all the added products on the face carefully and start over the next day. Interestingly, during this time, future leading stars like Anthony and Colin were just in the shadows, and all of these were part of the plan as we get to why Bridgerton does that. Like Daphne, the Duke of Hastings, Simon also contributed to having the looks fans were repeatedly crushing on. Page, who plays the role, had a stubble, which enhanced his looks. Another hairstylist from season 1, Mark Pilcher, revealed how Page helped his character set up his good looks when he said actually the stubble was his idea. And even though it's technically wrong for that period for a wealthy man to be stubbly, you know, we're making Bridgerton, and it's not like anything else. So I was happy to go with that, and the producers were too. However, it was already in the script that girls would be into the handsome Duke, and both Mark and Paige knew how to make it work for Simon to be in everyone's dreams, including the fans. However, they both followed a secret order, which we will expose soon. When season 1 ended and Paige announced his exit, many fans were disappointed and worried about how Bridgerton would keep up with the handsome main lead. But little did they know that the production has some crazy secrets to make season 2 even more exciting, and none of this is behind the series creator, Shonda Rhimes. In season 1, Anthony, who became the next main character, didn't look as good, but in season 2, everything about him upgraded, and fans wondered what happened to Anthony. Anthony went from the strict head of the house to not being able to take off his eyes after seeing Kate. Before his season, Anthony had a sideburn and a bowl cut hairstyle, which made many people overlook his romantic potential. Then, in season 2, Jonathan Bailey, who played the role, got a shorter haircut and the sideburns were totally gone, and many fans who were now now able to see his handsome face wondered why it wasn't noticeable in season 1. However, making Anthony have a funny sideburn that didn't help his looks were all a part of the game, and that's because they knew they had to get rid of it for Anthony to step up as a main character. Then, the main female lead for season 2, Simone Ashley, also made the season much better with her beautiful face. Unlike Penelope, who fans have been following since season 1, Kate showed up in season 2 with her sister Edwina, and even though Kate wasn't seeking a suitor, Anthony couldn't let go as the two had very matching energy between them. Also, viewers couldn't help but realize how perfect Kate looked, and they wondered if there were particular criteria used in picking the main characters of the show. Although Ashley, who plays Kate, already looked beautiful, some extra layers of makeup were added to her face to give her that natural glow. One of the makeup artists for season 2, Jessie Deal, gave in to the requests of many as she highlighted all the products that made Kate's face shiny and relaxed. She said Erica's idea for Kate was to have a simple look, and as she falls in love, we started to soften the makeup and add more. And the application is similar to that of Daphne in season 1, which means Bridgerton is very intentional about their leading stars having the best glow up every season. Many fans have wondered if there was anything special that Shonda had to do, like threaten them or increase their paycheck, but the big secret behind all of these is none other than the Shonda Rhimes effect. The show's creator, Shonda, has been known for this ever since she stepped up in the film industry, which has led to a lot of popular shows on streaming networks. So the Shonda Rhimes effect is also applicable to other shows that she has worked on. However, if you are wondering what this is all about, it isn't just a made-up word, but one with a lot of evidence to back it up. Simply put, the Shonda Rhimes effect is more like a magic that the series creator pulls up with her new main characters. This magic is usually helped by makeup, hairstyle, and costumes, but only Shonda has the right ingredients for the glow up. The cast could have had a haircut to make them look even more hideous, but Shonda knows the exact type of cut to make a character stand out. Also, costumes are carefully picked as the world of Bridgerton is such a beautiful one with unique prints. So, the Shonda Rhimes effect is actively involved in bringing out the best through whatever means necessary. And only Shonda can pull this off because in many other shows, the characters always look the same season after season, but Shonda has hacked how to make a difference. So, the secret is that the characters already looked good even before getting the glow up because Shonda carefully selects the cast from the beginning. Then she tweaks their appearance with styling and the storyline to suit the narrative and get viewers to notice every bit of it. And this method has always been successful. Now, this glow up is also happening with Penelope and Colin in season 3. Viewers have been seeing Penelope since season 1, and she's never looked anything different than just an interesting supporting character. However, with many teases and new looks into season 3, fans have begun to gush over the character because the Shonda Rhimes glow up has now applied to her. For Penelope, it took an entire change of wardrobe, wearing her hair in a teasing way and having a glowy face to get her promoted to main character. Aside from the physical appearance that had to change, the attitude and confidence also make her look more attractive, and fans can't wait to see all the enticing looks of Penelope soon. Colin's new looks also mean he has gone through the Shonda Rhimes effect for season 3. He has a new haircut and a more mature look, which has now made him even more attractive. Also, this Shonda magic is very crucial for Bridgerton because the story is about siblings finding love in their seasons. So far, 2 Bridgertons have been married, and they all have to look average, except it's their season to find a match. And that means the glow up is also coming for the rest of the characters like Eloise, and it's going to be so delightful as the Shonda Rhimes effect never misses.